Hey everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Amy Mantis, and today I have a lesson for you about speed, but not in terms of just shredding. I came to my lesson last week with Eric Hofbauer, and I told him I was having a problem. And my problem was playing rhythm changes, specifically the tune Olio, at a fast clip. The idea being, I want to work on my longer lines. And I feel like my speed and my hands, something was getting in the way. There's a disconnect happening. And I was explaining that I feel like my fingers are fumbling. So I was practicing something that we all practice, or probably should be practicing, and that's going from different rhythmic values. So quarter notes to eighth notes to triplets to sixteenths at the same tempo. So quick demonstration of what I mean there. If you haven't done this before, grab the metronome. So I want to knock it down to something comfortable. We'll do 60. So I got 60 beats. I have it at a 4-beat thing. So we get, I'll do it in B flat, a B flat dominant chord. So we get just arpeggios. Do 2 octaves. Eighth notes. Triplets. We'll focus on these. Sixteenth notes. So as you can hear, at 60, I'm pretty comfortable. I'm very comfortable. But when it comes to playing faster, I've never been comfortable. I've always had a hard time with it. For one reason or another, I have many theories on it, which I'll get into at another time. But today, I want to share something that I think can help you, as it's already helping me. So I went into my lesson saying, hey, I need help with this. And like a good teacher, Eric was like, I might have a solution for you. So 16th notes at, let's say, 100 or 120. It's pretty fast. Pretty darn fast. If I put this up to 100. Quarter notes. Actually, that was eighth notes. Here's quarter notes. Eighth notes. Triplets. 16th notes. See, I'm already overthinking it and not doing it so well. My fingers feel like they're fumbling over each other, and I said as much with Eric. So he goes, here's something that a lot of guitar players and probably musicians in general don't do. It's just playing more triplets. The secret to playing faster, or a trick to playing faster, is to play more triplets. When we think of triplets, we often think of, 1, 3, 5, with a heavy 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Because we do them in 3-note phrases. But what if you turn it into a 4-note phrase, or a 5-note phrase, or a 6-note phrase? Then you're displacing the 1. So you don't have a heavy 1 on a downbeat every single time it cycles through. And I was thinking about this. This happened on Wednesday, and now it's Sunday as I record this, and I realized there's a song that they say it's in 12/8. I don't feel it in 12/8. I don't feel it in 12/8. I'm one person, this is my humble opinion, that Stevie Ray Vaughan's Wall of Denial is not in 12/8. It's in 4. It's a shuffle 4. The intro to that song is triplets with the note changing. It's not always on the one. The first 2 bars, the first bar, a couple bars, is a heavy one, but then he keeps moving. I will do that in another video another time. But to go back to what Eric was having me do, he goes, okay, so you have your metronome on or your Drum Genius app. I'm using my phone to record this, so no Drum Genius for us today, so we're stuck with my trusty Korg MA30 from, I don't know, 2005. Again, don't know how it's still working, but it is, so we keep using it. So to build these longer lines, for me, I felt like I needed something else that's not just eighth notes, and something that allows me to have a breath, and something that allows me to also not have a breath if I don't want to. Whereas if I'm playing fast, I tend to take a lot of pauses because my fingers don't always go where I want them to. Not yet. We're working on it. And I think in the meantime, though, in a way to help shape those longer lines and to just get more dexterity, which is one of the songs I'm learning right now too, is this triplet practice. So what does it look like in practice? It looks like this. We're going to do a B flat dominant arpeggio. I'm going to go to 80 just to keep it a little safe. So we're going to do eighth notes first, and then we're going to jump into triplets and then go back to eighth notes. So here's eighth notes. Eighth notes again. Triplets. Eighth notes. Huge difference. I was thinking and trying to talk and play at the same time, and I had a miss. This is unedited, raw, uncut footage, uncut gems, if you will. So you can hear that there's a really stark difference between those eighth notes and those triplets. And the triplets become, you're already forcing 3 over 2 because you have 3 beats, or you have 3 eighth notes over where 2 eighth notes should be. But when you do it in a 4-note sequence, you start shifting the 1 around. So it's not just 1, 2, 3. That becomes the next one. So you get 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. If you want to play it again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the 1 is not always on the 1, which keeps it interesting. And then if you add another note in there, like a G or an E flat, the 1 is hardly ever on the 1. And I've learned in jazz, you don't want the 1 on the 1. You barely want the 1 on at all. Here we go. Eighth notes. 1, 2, 2. I'm adding all kinds of notes. It's like a dominant scale. Triplets coming up. Oh, yep. It's hard to think and talk and teach at the same time. So what happened there was my fingers took over and they're like, we're going to go to the 5th fret because we like to play there. No, let's try again. We'll just throw an E flat. We'll throw a 4 in there. So eighth notes first. So you can hear that triplet is a triplet thing, but it's not heavy on the 1. Let's go a little faster. We'll go to 100. Eighth notes. Back to just the arpeggio. pick slipped. Triplets. A little sloppy there, but what I was trying to do was, okay, we have our arpeggio. I was trying to go one note further each time and then come back. Let's try again. Practicing in real time, like the Grateful Dead. Practicing in public. They perfected the art of that. Ah. 8 notes. Here we go. Closer. We're getting there. But you can see where this is a really, really cool thing. Now, there's no way I can do that as 16th notes that fast with any sort of clarity or cleanliness. I'm not even going to show you. You don't want to see it yet. But here's the thing. I will get there. I believe I will get there. I have no excuse unless I don't want to, which isn't really much of it. I guess that's more of a reason than an excuse. But, you know, I was taking a walk today and I was thinking like, Django Reinhardt had no excuses. Tony Iommi was missing a couple of fingers or fingertips. I'm not Tony Iommi. I'm not Django Reinhardt. I'm Amy Mantis. And there's nothing I like more than getting better at stuff. Even if it's just for my own personal use. Like, I don't tend to play super fast a lot of the time. And part of that could be because I can't do it well. But a lot of it's also because I'm not drawn to it. Like, it's not my style. It's not what I enjoy doing the most. I like to be lyrical. I like to be melodic. I love a through composed solo. Give me the Eagles all day long. Shouts to Joe Walsh. You're the man. So I don't need to play 16th notes at 160. I don't even know if I can count that. I don't need to do that. I don't have the desire. Maybe you do. And if you do, great. There are plenty of people that can help you with that. I'm probably not that person. But what I can do is show you all kinds of ways to play, this is going to sound cheesy, but to play more like yourself and to choose ideas to practice and to choose things to work on that are satisfying, that are challenging, that are satisfying, challenging, and that bring you closer to the player that you want to be. And so I'm 34. I've been playing guitar for almost 21 years. There's so much that I can't do. There's so much that I would love to be able to do and that I'm working on to this day, including playing these faster, longer lines. I've also realized that the guitar is really hard. Like, the more I play it, the harder I realize it is. I hear at school there's a bunch of practice rooms, and I hear piano players just ripping through these classical pieces at a high tempo. I hear tenor sax players just blazing through scales. And yeah, there are plenty of guitar players that can do that. I've never been able to do it. And when I think about being able to do it, it's part of it is like, do I want to spend the time doing that? One thing I think I did as a young player was I spent a lot of time writing songs and not as much time as other people did with pure guitar technique. That wasn't what I was as interested in. And even to this day, like, I want the technique because I want to be able to play what my ear is hearing, what's in my heart, what's in my head. But like, I can do the rock stuff. Like, here's Eminence Friend. Like, that stuff I can, it's pretty fast, or, any of the Jimmy Page stuff. But that's very guitaristic, as someone might say. But to do the bebop thing, the jazz stuff, and I'm not a bebop player. I'm not out here trying to be a bebop player. But there's stuff in there that I want to get, so that I can bring it back to my own stuff. But all this to say, triplets are cool. Go practice triplets. Practice them in 4 bars first. We're going to tune up again because I was bending. Also, for the gearheads, this guitar is a Jeff Beck, it's a Jeff Beck custom shop. I think it's from 22. It was a gift. And it's a freaking great guitar. It's one of the few non-Clapton guitars that I really love. I seem to only have signature strats. I've got a Knopfler, a Clapton, and a Beck. And then I have a Silver Sky, which is John Mayer's. So, although I am in the market for an Ultra Telly, or I should say a bound Telly. I don't care if it's Ultra or not, but I really want a bound Telly. So one more time, now that I went on that tangent, and again, unedited. I'm not going to edit this. Just going to let it go. So back to 100 beats. B flat arpeggio. You can do whatever you want, but something that's got more than 3 notes, because otherwise you get which has its merits, but not what we're trying to do. In case I wasn't loud enough. 8 notes. Triplets. So muck about with that. 8th notes at a comfortable tempo, switch into triplets. Make sure it's more than 3 notes. You can plug it into all kinds of spots. But as an exercise, you can take it to the extreme. Like, one thing I'm working on is, I was joking in my lesson, I was like, 64 bars of triplets. And Eric was like, yeah, go ahead, do that. Because the point here is not to make it articulate. It is to make it articulate. It's not to make it a beautiful solo. It's to get used to playing it like that. So I'll be back with more videos consistently starting now. It took me a little bit of time to find the balance with school and life, and figuring out where we're headed here. So I hope that you found this helpful. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. And I will see you again very, very, very soon. Cheers.